right. Good afternoon, Guy.
Just one sec. Oh, hey, Chris. How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Yeah, timing was everything. I was actually just looking at listing presentations this week. So I saw it today and I was like super excited. So,
Perfect. Awesome. Cool. It's 4 o'clock. I'll give it just one more minute, see who else rolls in here. It is
sure.
Florida, so everyone kind of lives on tropical time here.
Totally concur with that statement.
Is that so? You're from Canada, right?
I am. I'm from Ontario, but I lived most of my life in Montreal after I studied in Montreal and became a teacher in a college there.
Oh, that's cool. So
So,
everyone's on time
I've,
in Canada, right? Like I've noticed anywhere where it's
yeah,
cold, people are like right on time.
things are a little different for sure.
We have Rihanna. Hey, welcome back, Rihanna.
Hello.
Good to
I
see
learned
you.
so much earlier. I figured I'd join in again.
Awesome. Cool. Just got to get Fred in here now, right?
Eh.
So, Guy, Rihanna's in a market center up in Connecticut. You're the director of agent services?
Yep.
Yep. In
Okay, nice to
Connecticut.
meet you, Rihanna.
Nice to meet you.
I got the
Yes.
opportunity to teach in their market center this morning, which is really nice. So,
Awesome. Yeah, we were on a conference with something else, so I actually saw your post and
yes.
I was hesitant. I would have loved to get on that call, but
Well, I'll tell you this. If I had the opportunity to listen to Cody Gibson or listen to me, I'd pick Cody Gibson any day of the week. So,
well, you're both amazing, and I will say Cody was he was amazing. No sugarcoating with Cody. He called it. He said exactly what had to be said.
yep.
So it was great.
He's an amazing speaker, Cody, and an amazing agent.
Yes.
I mean, was it 140 something transactions a month? Like I can't even wrap my head around that. That's
And he has a family, and he just looks so relaxed and so calm.
right. Yeah. Yeah. If I was, yeah, I'd be stressing. So, all right. So it's 4:02. We got some people in here. So everyone on Facebook, if you're watching on there, feel free to click on the Zoom link in the description there and hop on. I don't monitor the Facebook, so I notice I'll go back later and people ask some really good questions, which I would have loved to have answered live, but I did not see them in time. So feel free to jump in here, get involved, ask some questions, interrupt me. I want to be able to serve you the best I can. Also, if you are with another market center, I welcome anyone into my classes. I've experienced 5 Zoom bomb attempts so far. So I don't let in people with unfamiliar names. But I have set it so that if you register with your Keller Williams email, you will bypass the waiting room and come directly into the Zoom meeting. So if I don't know you, use your KW email and you'll come right in here. We'd love to have you. So we're going to get started here. So we're going to go through how to create a listing presentation in Command. And I'll go through the details of Designs, which is the applet where we're going to build it, and then actually build out some pieces from a listing presentation. And then, of course, I'm not going to build out an entire listing presentation in this class, but that's something you can go and build out on your own. So we're going to start in Command, of course, agent.kw.com, and we are going to be in the Designs applet. Now, if you don't know, you can click on the KW logo at the top and it will slide out the names of all the applets because I'm in here every day. So, of course, I've memorized what all of these icons mean. I understand if you haven't yet. So Designs is this icon here with the sketch pad. So we'll go in there. And if this is your first time in Designs, this page is going to look rather blank. And I have a lot of people. I think I actually got a text about this week asking, "Hey, where are the designs? I went in here and there's nothing." Well, if you come in here, there's going to be, for the first time, there's going to be nothing because this is your design templates. So it says My Design Template. So these are the things that either you've created or opened or worked on, and you can go back and review those. Up top, people will often click on these and say, I went to social and there was nothing there. Well, these are just filters. So I could click social and filter all my social designs, or print and go through all my print designs. As you see, I've taught listing presentations before. And we can unclick that and just get everything. So to access the designs, which by the way, we have over 1,200 designs and they're continually putting out new designs. And I don't mention this often, and I should. If you go to the home, the home screen, the home page, there is a widget. I'm going to scroll down right here for updated designs, and it will show you the most recent designs that they've added. So if you are wondering, hey, what's new in there, you can just look at this widget. And also they'll feature someone who did something cool. I've submitted some designs. Apparently mine aren't cool enough. But so let's go into the designs applet. And to get to these 1,200 plus templates, we're going to click on this plus icon, this plus button. And then we get the options to either choose email, social, print, video, or we can even import a PDF. The system will break it down into its elements, and then we'll be able to manipulate that however we please. So if we see a template of something that we really like, but it's just a blank PDF and we'd like to make it our own, we can pull it in here and it will break it down to where we can swap out the photo or change out the text. It's really cool. We're not going to get into that today. We're going to go into print. So we're going to make a print listing presentation. By the way, too, the videos are really cool. I'm trying to avoid geeking out and taking us off on rabbit trails, but that's a really cool thing to explore as well. So we're going to go print and we're going to click next. And this is going to take us out into our design editor. Now we have partnered with a company called WeBrand for this. And so we have our own proprietary version of the WeBrand app. And so we have full control over editing this as over at Keller Williams Incorporated, and making this our own. So I'm going to explain what we're looking at here. We have our templates or your design. So if you click on the My Designs tab, it's pretty much the same as what we saw in the previous page. And on the left, we have some categories. And within these categories, we'll have subcategories. So of course we have the KW app is My KW app. That's not a very great explanation of those, but we have, say, listings. We have the subcategories of listing presentations, where we're going to be for sale, just listed, so on and so forth. And also we can access those new designs that just came in by clicking new designs. And oh, this is cool. It's a bifold. I haven't seen these before. Clearly because they're new, right? And then we have some pivot things as well, which is also new. Oh, this is cool. This is actually a kid's activity book. So this would be great if you're going on a listing presentation and they have kids, print this out and get a little cheap 4-pack of crayons. Gonna make a great impression. I know if I have kids, and I know if you guys brought that to a listing presentation for my kids, that would make a huge impact on your impression with me. So we have these now. Also, let me get back to somewhere. Let's click on this and you'll see we have different template categories. Sorry. What's the word I'm looking for? There are the different categories for what we're going to use them for. And this is all print. So they're going to be different sizes here. So we have a jumbo postcard, a flyer, a large postcard, a standard postcard. Maybe if we go, let me go somewhere like for sale, we have door hangers, we have different types of flyers, bifolds. So we can narrow down what exactly we're looking for. And then on the social side, we have ones for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. And that doesn't mean you can't make a Facebook graphic and put it on Twitter, or make a Instagram graphic and put it on Facebook. It just means they're made for best case scenario. But you can still download that graphic and use it however you please. One last thing before we get into the listing presentation is this library button. And this is really important. I think this is a really cool feature that we have. If we click on this, we can preload our library with elements that we use frequently. So we have our company details here, and this auto-populates from, I believe it auto-populates from the marketing profile. It could be wrong, but you can come in here and fill in all this detail. We then have text. So if you have like a tagline that you use, I know, what's his name? Matt Goldstein uses the collectively we close. You know, you can throw that in there somewhere. Put your vision in here, your tagline, your, what is that is slogan. Then we have images, and this could be any image that you use frequently. So your headshot, I recommend you put in a cropped square version of your headshot as well as a full size of your headshot. So you can use those for different scenarios. And maybe if you have some sort of background you use frequently, you can put that in there as well. Maybe if you're on a team, maybe put also your full team photo in there so you can have both of those. And then logos. So your branding logo is a great thing to put in there, as well as the KW DBA logos. You'll definitely want to put those in there. You'll use them frequently. And for elements, maybe you have certain icons that you use a lot. Maybe you have a Facebook and Instagram icon that you've made and sort of branded to yourself, but still is the Facebook icon. You can throw those in there to use frequently. And then this is really cool here, the brand kit. So if you have specific colors that you use, you can load those in here. And then if you have specific fonts you use, you can also load those. So you can easily pull up your specific branding elements. Isn't that cool? All right, so we're going to go into listing presentations. So I'll click on listing presentations, and it's pretty simple. We don't have a lot of decisions to make here. They're both booklets, and we either want to go with the modern theme or the classic theme. So this one is darker and this one is lighter. So someone call out one.
Classic there.
There we go. Okay, classic. So we're going to go to the classic. And to use one, we simply mouse over it and you click the use button. And it's nice, this icon here will tell us how many pages it is. If it's over 9, it'll be 9+. So let's click use, and it's going to bring us into the editor. Is anyone here familiar with Canva? Anyone use Canva?
A
little bit. Okay, awesome. Most times people say no. So this kind of has a similar feel, this web app editor. So if you have been in Canva, it'll be a easy transition. So let's explain what we're looking at here. So at the top bar, we have kind of the basic things that you'd expect in a top menu. We have the file. We have different versions, so you can jump back. If you spend a lot of time changing some things and you're like, I don't really like it, you can jump back to a previous version. If you make one edit that you do not like, you can undo it, and then you can redo it if you change your mind. We then can change the name, which I recommend. And here's something I highly recommend with the listing presentation, especially. So it takes a lot of work making a listing presentation. Am I right? It's not something you can go in and just kind of bing, bam, boom, and, make it half baked and just throw it out there. So, but there are a lot of things in a listing presentation that are going to carry over to multiple presentations. So what I recommend is make your own listing presentation template, because after you complete this, any design you have in your design library, you can make a copy of. So what you can do is make a template, duplicate it, and then prior to going to your listing presentation, customize it for that specific listing presentation, rather than just starting from scratch every time you need to make a listing presentation. We have our download options here. We can JPEG, PNG, or PDF. And of course, for something like this, it would be a PDF. Anything you print, you want to get in a PDF. And you do also want to make sure it's high resolution print quality when you download it. We have this share button. I would recommend just ignoring that. And then done just brings you back out to command. And this KW back icon will bring you back into all the templates that you can select from where we just came from. On this left-hand sidebar, we have these tabs where we can add elements to our design. So these templates are the templated pages that we can use in our listing presentation. Then we have images, which of course is going to be photos, and this is where those library images are going to be. So this is where I'll find my headshot. Text would be the standard text that we have put in the library, or just we can put it in the text box up here. Icons are icons, logos are logos, and then KWLS. This is one of my favorite things because nobody else has this. This connects directly with KWLS 2.0, which connects directly with all the MLSs in the country, as well as a little bit of Canada for you, Guy. And so you can go and pull the photos from any listing in the MLS and use them in your design, as well as the details, so you can get all the information on the listing as well. You can also pull up neighborhood snapshot details as well and have some neighborhood snapshot graphics, which is really cool. And then up top, we can add some unique elements, like we can draw something, put some shapes in, frames, or add just a text box. So now you're asking, how do we get started? So we have our pages here, like I said, and then down at the bottom here is going to be the pages that we're actually using in our design. So I'm going to click on listing presentation template, this very first page, because I do want to have a cover page. So I will click on that, and it's going to bring it over. And you see this is the actual page here. But something to note is down here in our pages, it still has that blank page as page 1, because that's what we started off with. So we can just click this arrow above it and delete it, because we obviously don't want a blank page as the first page. Then we can click this and collapse pages, and always click that if we want to bring it up. So we have our listing presentation template. And maybe we want to change the name of this so that we don't have to go and change this every time. So we have these text elements here. And I want to maybe change, I don't want the word template, so maybe I'll delete template, and maybe I'll have it go listing presentation with Chris Orsini. But hold on, did anybody notice something there? That Orsini dropped down to the second line, and it kind of looks ugly, right? I liked it better when it was one line. Now, something that's a little unique with this editor is that once it does hit that margin, it's going to just drop down. You'll see it'll auto expand the margin horizontally, but it doesn't auto expand the margin vertically. So what we want to do is then change the margins on this. To do that, we click outside of the text box, and you see we now have these dots and these bars here. So these are going to allow me to change the margins. Zoha, you've been in my class before, and I'm sorry to call you out. I shouldn't do that. But do you remember what the dots and the bars do? Like what the dots do uniquely that the bars don't? You're muted, by the way. I don't hear you. It's not working? So I saw you mouthing it. So I know you know the answer. So yeah. So the dots are really cool because as they expand the margins, it also changes the size of the text, which this is a very useful tool in some circumstances, but clearly isn't what I was trying to do, right? So I'll just leave it there and then take advantage of this undo button to put it back to the normal size. So what I can do is rather than click the dot, I will click the bar and drag out the vertical margin, and it brings that back up, that one line. And maybe I do want my name to stand out a little bit. So we'll bring that out some more. And there we go. And we have our first page done. And maybe this photo, we'll get into photos in the next page. Any questions on this so far? Nope. Something I do also want to point out. So with these text boxes, so I'm going to drag this margin out all the way to the end and just show you something. So when you want the cursor to go to the very end of the word, in many cases, you would expect to be able to click on the very far end of the text box and have the cursor jump to the end. It doesn't quite work like that in WeBrand. So and that throws me off sometimes. I'm used to working in like Google Sheets where it does jump to the end. What you'll need to do is just make sure to click very close to the last letter. You see how close I had to get to the I for it to get there? Or another thing you can do is just tap the down arrow on your keyboard and it will bring you to the end. So I tap down and there it moved to the end. So we'll do that. Awesome. So let's move on to the next, the next page.
Chris,
Yes.
If you want to put like your telephone number and your contact information at the bottom, how do you get a text box in there?
That was a brilliant question, Jillian. So up at the top here, we have these elements that we can add. So I could click text and I just want a text block, I guess. And oh, that's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Hey, if I did something like that and it's pretty ugly, right? All I have to do is hit the delete key and it's gone. Let's do text body. There we go. That's more like it. So we can then stretch this out and then type in here. Pro tip, Command A or Control A on PC will select all. And I can put, 561, 245, 4000. Orsini Chris at kw.com. Chris Orsini .kw.com.
Yeah. Also, is our like office logo stored in here so that we can add that to it? Because you got to have your office information legally.
You can bring it in there. It's not stored in there automatically, but there's a way to store it in there. You would utilize the library to do that.
Okay.
So I showed that. I don't know if you were here in time, but that was.
No, I didn't see the library.
I'm gonna see if I can open this in a new tab. No, I'll get to that. Just don't let me forget by the end. I'll show you. So there we go. We have our first page done. Now we want to, let's say we want to bring in this page next. So again, like this one, we just click and it brings it into our listing presentation. If we want to verify, we can click pages. There we go, page 1 and 2. You can also do a little drag and drop if you want to rearrange things. That's fine.
Good.
So let's take a look at this. Here's some really pretty photos, but this clearly isn't me. Am I right? So what we'll do is we'll click on her, and we're going to go to my library of images where I have my headshot uploaded. And we can easily swap this photo out by clicking the replace image icon. So if you see that's the second, it will always be like the second icon there. Now, if I don't have an image selected, it's not going to be there. And if I click on this photo, it's going to drop it right in the middle of my my page there. So I'll have to delete it. And then here's the thing with photos is, oh, I guess they changed that. Let me try that again. Okay. So we'll click on her and we will click on the replace image icon. Remember, you can't click on the photo itself. It's got to be this replace image icon.
Okay.
And I'll click that and boom, there I am.
Cool.
Not as pretty, but there I am. And then next, these are some really cool properties, right? That's a really nice property, and that's a pretty cool photo of a woman on her computer. But, you know, again, I'm not a woman, and that's not a property I've ever sold. So we can go, or maybe it's just not, it doesn't look like anything I've sold. So we can click on this company tab here. We have different categories of photos. So we have the My Library and then company, and we can go through and look at house types. And these are all stock photos we're allowed to use however we please. And so we can go through and maybe we sell a whole bunch of properties that look like this and we can put that in there. Or, you know, maybe we do more townhouses, whatever. We can use these photos at our discretion. And then maybe this one, let's go to the lifestyle folder and see what that one has in there. Lifestyle at home. Now, these are all people moving. So you can put in whatever photo in there. But pro tip, I'm going to share something with you guys. I shared this with Connecticut earlier. There are 2 websites I recommend frequently to get free photos because what I don't want you to ever do is go to Google, find a photo you like, and start using it for yourself, because there's a company, and I forget the name. I still forgot it, Rihanna. I can't remember it. That they go around and scoop up licenses for photos and then come after you for using that photo, and will sue you, and it'll cost you thousands of dollars just for a simple photo. So let's protect ourselves from that, and let's go to one of 2 websites. There is Pexels.com, Pexels.com, and they have very high quality photos that are free to use. They can be pretty stylized, so you'll just want to search, and maybe I'll search. We can search Florida. Florida's in there. There's some good Florida photos. Also, the other website that I recommend frequently is Pixabay, Pixabay.com. And it's pretty much a clone of Pexels, but they'll have some different photos that Pexels doesn't have. So we'll search Florida here and see that the photos are a little different. Again, very high quality, sometimes very stylized. And also, Fred from Connecticut let me know about this today. If you go on Google, and I'm going to search Florida and search images, there is apparently a filter that will allow you so if you click tools, there's a usage rights filter, and we could say labeled for reuse with modification. And now these are all photos that people have labeled. It's okay to use these or modify them as you please. So there you go. You got 3 options right there. All right. Any questions so far?
No, Chris, I just want to say you're awesome.
Thank you, Mila. So are you. Okay, so let's get into yet another page. Something to note here, guys, and this is a little quirk that we have in there right now that they're working on. You notice I pointed out some tabs that no longer exist right now, and they've been kind of disappearing on us. If you click on something, you'll notice they come back. If I click away, we lost images in KWLS. If I click on an image, they come back. So don't panic. The first time I noticed that was in the middle of a class, actually, and I mini panicked. But yeah, there we go. So let's go back to templates. And I am going to pull this neighborhood page. I'm going to click on this one. And keep in mind, guys, I'm not teaching actually how to build. I'm not teaching about listing presentations. I'm simply teaching you how to build a listing presentation. So I'm sure if you want to reach out to your productivity coach, whether it be Jeff or Laura, they can definitely guide you in what content to put in there. And this is more for the use of how to put that content in there. Make sense?
Yeah.
So now this is a neighborhood page. So what is happening in your neighborhood? And I think this is so cool. And this gets me so jazzed and geeked out. So I'm going to click on, let's take a look at this. This is what's happening in Barton Hills. I'm pretty sure none of you are doing any transactions in Barton Hills. Am I right?
Right.
But this is great. We have, over, what time period, what is happening as far as the listings. And then we have, average listing price, days on market, all this stuff. So cool. But again, we need something relevant. So someone give me a neighborhood you're familiar with.
Country Club Acres.
Country Club Acres. All right. So I'm going to click on the Barton Hills thing, and I'm going to click KWLS. And we're going to go to snapshots. So we're not necessarily looking at listings just yet. We're going to look at snapshots. And I'm going to search Country Club Acres.
Yeah.
Country Club Acres.
Yeah.
And that's in Country Club. No, that's Country Club Manors. There we go. Nope, that's Virginia.
Delray, the one in Delray.
Did I scroll past it?
Yes, it was there.
There we go, Delray. So sometimes it helps to put the city there. And I'm going to I'll click on it and take a look. We have a horizontal version of this. We have just a nice little map where we can kind of zoom into the neighborhood itself. And then we have this this vertical snapshot. That's what we'd want to use in this case. So we'll click that replace icon, right? And then boom, it has been replaced.
Cool.
Right? Jillian, I love having you in my classes because your excitement is so contagious. Now we'd also want to change the text here because we're not in Barton Hills anymore. Right, Frodo? No, not. Oh, what's the dog's name? Right. Right. Was it? No, I don't know. We're not in Kansas anymore. So we'll do country. Frodo. Is it Frodo?
No, it's Toto.
Toto, that's what it is.
Oh,
Frodo's Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Frodo's the guy, yeah.
So we do country. Whoops.
You got to spot it wrong. Country.
Country.
Yeah.
We have too much fun in here. Country Club Acres. And let's just stretch that out so it's not so ugly. There we go.
Yeah.
Country Club Acres. And we can even drag these around a little bit to make up for that extra line.
Yeah.
All right. So there's something curious about this one. I'm kind of glad we chose this one because it says average sale price is not applicable. And I'm sure we can probably find what the average sale price actually is somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, there's so many different types of homes. They're all mixed up.
Okay.
It goes from little to big and everything. It's all neighborhood assorted homes. So it's really hard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in this case, say one of these numbers is not, you don't think it's accurate or you want to adjust it in some way. So I'm going to actually zoom in on this so we can see it a little better. We can do that with this zoom icon right here. We have the loop down there and we can just click that and zoom in. So something we could do, and maybe I do want to change this not applicable to an actual number. I can choose a shape and let's take a box and we can position this box over the NA to make it disappear.
Oh.
So there we go. But hold on, now I've got an ugly gray box. People are going to know something's up here. So we have the color options up here and I can click fill color select black. And also we need to make sure we change the stroke color to black as well. Stroke is like that outline. And look at that.
Oh,
Totally
it's there.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Don't even know it's there. So then we can choose text,
Yeah.
and we'll choose body text, right? Because we don't want that big, giant, ugly text that I did earlier. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Oh, looks like I did it twice. And something we want to do so we see what we're typing is make sure we change it to white. Here, if you don't see the color you want, there we have this whole color wheel. I love it. Select white. Apply. There it's white. Now we can bring it up here. And let's just say it's 285, or no, it's usually lower than the average list price. So it's
Yeah.
280,000.
Yeah.
Cool. And now we can take advantage of these, the circles here. So we can resize it so it looks similar to the one above it. That's about there, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Get it
cool.
kind of centered. And you notice this is a little bit, and I'm getting a little kind of nitpicky now, but you notice that's it's not quite the same white. So we can go and change opacity. Do you guys know what opacity means?
How dark or light it is.
Yeah. So how transparent. Something that's opaque is you can't see through it. Milk is
Right.
opaque, water is not. So we can turn down the opacity a little bit. So it just kind of gets a little bit of that same look to it.
Oh, cool.
And then zoom out. And look at that. It fits right in, doesn't it?
Cool. Very nice. Very nice.
And then this is why we're not building an entire listing presentation together, is we have all this content here that we now need to go
Yeah.
and fill in, because this
Yeah.
is what makes you the neighborhood expert. This is what makes you the fiduciary over the functionary, because I'm sorry, Zillow cannot go and create this page here. So let's go to templates and let's go on to the next page. So something that you will do, and this is probably going to be a page that you're going to create new, fresh every time that you create do a listing presentation, unless you,
The neighborhood you're in.
yeah, exactly. Unless you farm like the same area all the time, but we'll click on comparables, but also you'd want that to be up to date anyways. So comparables this month are probably different than comparables last month.
Yeah. Okay. How do we get these?
Okay. So there's a lot of Barrington Circle here. So we're going to, again, notice my icons on the left here disappeared. We'll just click on an element and they'll come back. Don't worry. They didn't go for good. We're going to click KWLS again, and we can search a listing. Now, something I think would be nice is if we could search a maybe a neighborhood and see all the listings in that neighborhood, but we can't do that just yet. We have a whole bunch of other options. So we can search by listing address, MLS number, KWLS ID, listing agent or co-agent. So let me see. Like, I know Mila has had listings, and
No,
I want to see if
didn't.
this works. What?
Oh, I did before. Yep.
Yeah, but every time I've done this, the last time I've tried searching for listing by the agent, it didn't work.
It doesn't work.
Oh, I didn't choose agent. Yeah, so it doesn't show results. I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah, I've had listings in Country Club Acres, 2 of them, at least 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah,
So
it's-
would
the
I?
name-
No.
No, it's not working. Oh, no, that's you
Mulligan
haven't had
Drive.
any listings in Michigan,
Yeah,
right?
I'm supposed to hit the little magnifying glass.
The
No.
loop. Yeah, it just says no results. So that's something I need to talk to support about. So,
Okay. So
um,
MLS number. All right, MLS number.
or an address. You can give me an address.
That's oh shoot. Washington Road. I can't remember the actual number. Washington Road. It's in Delray Beach. It's in Country Club Acres.
Why are they all showing me
No.
Delray Beach?
There's too many Washington roads. I didn't have a
Yeah.
number.
Actually, they Delray Avenue and Delray Roads. So don't put Delray.
No,
Delray
it's
Beach, Florida. I just want to see if you can just search that way. Yeah,
Washington
there's a
Road.
Delray Beach Avenue in Las Vegas. That's not helpful at all.
Washington Road, Delray Beach, Florida.
Washington Road.
Chris, I
Delray.
think you need to put number up front.
Yeah, I think so
I
too.
don't have a number. Otherwise, I'd have had it.
Do you know like the number scheme? Is it 4 numbers, 5 numbers?
It's
starting
4.
with 4. Let's just. All right, someone give me a listing that they know exists.
Hold
And again,
on.
this is where you have to be your neighborhood expert. And
Hold on.
Typed in one that's on my street. 2
Okay.
Kirk Farm Road.
4182,
um,
123rd Trail North.
sorry, you
Oh,
broke
yeah,
up a
you want
little bit.
Listing number? A listing number.
An
RX.
MLS number?
Yes.
Yes.
RX
RX
10619
10619
818.
818. There we go. Is this what you were looking for?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now that we found it, it's much more helpful if you have something prepared. So that's on me as an instructor.
Okay. So now
I
you
will,
know.
now I know. I will click select. And look, we have all the listing photos here. They usually populate a lot quicker than this, but I'm live streaming, so it does slow things down. Oh, this is interesting. I've never seen that before. And you also have the listing details, all the information that's on the MLS. So with photos, I can click on the photo and we'll replace it with the front of the house. And we can click over on the listing details, and we can also do that swap function. So that replace function. So I'll click on the address here and I can replace it with this address. Now, what's nice about it is it maintains the same formatting. So the same,
Oh, cool.
what do you call it? The same
Yeah.
font size and font. But, you know, it does put in everything. So I do have to kind of do a little bit of work here and make sure I delete this extra stuff, because if it's a comparable, we know that it's going to be in the same city. So we don't need the city and zip in there. So now let me zoom in. This is so tiny. Why are we looking at this so tiny? Let's zoom in here. And then we can pull in the data that we see here. And now I wouldn't use the swap function for this because it will swap everything that's in the text box with whatever text you choose. So if I choose this and I want to swap it out for beds, it's not going to put 3 where the bedroom is. It's going to just put the number 3, as you see there. So
So
you
do you
do-
just copy and paste?
you could just type, yeah, this is where you actually,
Okay. All right.
so your fingers do need to make contact with the keyboard. So you just click the delete button and put into, and then square footage is right here. So I can say 1633, the listing price, which is 299, comma there, and it was sold for X in so many days. I'm not sure if
It's
oh,
actually
this is a live listing, so
it's
we wouldn't know that.
pending. Pending. Shit.
Oh, it's pending.
Yeah,
Well-
my client just sent it to me and he got off Zillow and it's pending.
Mm-hmm.
What's
And there
that?
you go. That's
Yeah.
another thing to show the value of.
This is the same guy who won't use the Keller Williams app.
There you go. Well, so that is how, and I'm not going to go and bore you with doing this
Yeah.
for all fours
We understand.
for
Get
these comps, but that's where you can. That's
Yeah.
how you would enter in your comparables.
Uh-huh.
And if we go to templates, there's also there's a number of other pages for similar things that we can use the KWLS for. We have, where is it? There's a lot of pages here we can use. So we have these portfolios where we can show off the properties that we've sold. So if you haven't sold 6, you have 3, an option for 3, and it doesn't look like you've just deleted 3 of them, right? It's still a nice full page. Featured listings, this could show off the listings you currently have. Yes, Jillian.
What's the save button so we don't lose all this as we're
I love
going
this.
through?
Great question. So it does autosave, but if you want to be safe, then you can click File and Save.
Oh, okay.
File, Save. And it'll tell you right there, saved. But it does autosave. And say you do make an edit and then quickly click Done before it has the opportunity to autosave, it will prompt you, do you want to save or not?
Okay.
So you don't lose it. And a couple of other things is we have some things like proof in my numbers. And this is where you're going to have to know your numbers and put that data in, as well as, where is it? Some find your buyer. And this is awesome right here. I'm going to pull this one up just to show it off because this will look very familiar to Rihanna. So we have something to introduce people to our app, and it helps explain the value of our app to them. So we can put our app URL down here, and it highlights the guides. And have you guys been in my class where I taught about the app guides?
Yes.
No, something else was going on, but we need it.
So I'm going to put that on the calendar very soon, possibly next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'll try to get it on next week. I got to look at the whole calendar,
Soon.
but soon. Okay. And so this highlights the guides and shows the value proposition of our app. And what's great is our guide is threefold. So one is it gives our buyers and sellers a heads up as to what to expect when to buy or sell. Did you guys know everything that was about to happen when you bought your first property?
No.
You probably were stressed and clueless and anxious and totally lost. You had no clue what you were getting into. So it gives them a heads up. This also with the guide is you can check off the steps as they're going through them. So this gives them that on-demand update that clients want. Also, it's a value proposition. You are able to show off in the guide what you do as an agent that they can't get from anywhere else. So you want to make sure to come to that class next week because I'm definitely now putting it on the calendar next week and we'll set up our guides.
Don't make it clash with something else because I missed one of your last ones because it clashed with something.
Now, we have some more graphics for this, and this is really cool. These are newer. So I'm going to click on this iPhone. I'm going to zoom into it because it is pretty tiny. Usually using a bigger screen. And I'll click that and we can go to app images. And I love some of these new app images. We have all these and look, we have the guides. So I can click and replace that. And look at that. That's actually looks like a real iPhone and not a outline. And that's your selling guide. And all these other things we can do to promote the app. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So what time is it? So we have about 10 minutes left. I would like to open up the floor for any questions you guys might have.
So if I have market stats, or say if I want to get some of the stats that Andrew, gives in his market update from Lore, how do
Mhm.
I go? How do I go? I could just add them in my library.
So we have this, those stats you wouldn't be able to add. You really wouldn't want to add those stats because you want to regularly update those.
Right.
But again, keep in mind in this context, I'm building out a template that I know I'm going to be using repeatedly and just making a copy and updating it for the client specifically. So I can go to, we have this like real experience, real expertise page here, and this is kind of your neighborhood expert slide, and we have some data on you can put in here. And again, you have full control over this. You can change if you don't want to say years of experience, years in business. You can use another term and put another metric in there and just change this text to suit you. So every story, every metric we look at tells two stories. It tells us either a success story or an opportunity story. And we can highlight the pieces of that story that we want to tell. So we don't necessarily want to tell our clients our opportunity for improvement story, right? We want to tell them our success story. So if we have an area that is an opportunity for improvement, and we see that on here it's an opportunity for improvement, maybe it's time to switch it out with a opportunity with a success story. So you have full control over that. And also here's the proof in my numbers. And here's something. If maybe you just got your license, maybe you just joined us and you've never sold a property in your life, we can change this to say the proof in our numbers.
Yeah, use the office numbers.
Because you have just joined a team of Keller Williams Realty Services or Keller Williams Coastal Partners, and you share the team's experience. So you can come in here and put in the data from our market center. And those, again, you pointed out, Zoha, that's great that Andrew shares those numbers with us, and we can use those. And again, that we call that the lore, the language of real estate. And again, the lore tells multiple stories. It tells success stories and stories of opportunity. So just highlight whatever. If it maybe the median sales price doesn't look as good, but something total volume tells a better story. Put that in there.
Okay. And then another quick question.
Another quick answer.
Remember, where we say win-win.
Win-win or no deal. The Y4C2Ts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I get that? Because I wanted to add it in one of my pages.
That's a great question. Because I would absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, put something like that in a listing presentation. So here we have a promise, and this does show our values, because I'll tell you, Keller Williams, and this coming from someone in leadership. So Keller Williams has a lot of value propositions. So part of it's technology. Part of it is we have the technology model. We have the economic model, right? We have a capping structure. We have profit sharing. We have all these things that are of value to our clients or our agents. Sorry. But I think the number one piece of value our company has, and why agents stay with our company, is culture. Nobody else has the same culture we do. And so exemplifying that culture to our clients is also going to be why they're going to stick with you. I can't tell you how many agents I've interviewed who said, I became an agent because I had a really, really bad agent and I knew I could do it better. So just so you know, so a promise here, this is kind of this isn't quite the Y4C2Ts, but you could reword this to be that. Bottom line, maybe, I think this is a great opportunity here, is you take a bottom line and you can just delete this text and type out the Y4C2Ts.
Okay.
I
Yes.
think one of the listing presentations, an old one I have, I think it's in one of the connects. I'll see if I can find it for you, because I think it does have the Y4C2Ts. if I can find it, so I'll get it to you. If
Yeah,
you-
and I know KW Connect does have a lot of good resources on
Yeah,
that. The
yeah.
challenge with KW Connect is that things aren't as easy to find, but I would go to
Oh.
Yeah, thank you, Jillian. It was an understatement what I just said. So
yeah.
resources, and I'll go down to culture, and let's see what we can find there.
You get a rash when you go on there.
And we can go to what is culture, I believe.
Yeah.
And
There it is.
Y4C2Ts.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And I'm going to download this PDF. And there we go. Our belief system.
Oh, that's cool. Can you send that to everybody? I want
Yes.
that.
Julian, you can Google it. It's also in the Google.
Yeah. If you could just
Here, I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm going to put this link in the chat.
cool,
You got-
cool.
Yeah, if you don't know how to get to something in KW Connect, it can be a challenge to actually get to what you want. But I've poked around in here enough to be familiar with it. Yep.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
So what the link's in the chat. So now what do I do with it?
If when you click on it, it'll open the PDF. You know, I'm gonna stand. My back is hurting a little bit.
Oh,
And you can up at the top right, you can download it.
aha.
And if you need to, you can convert it to a JPEG or whatever you want to do. But there you go.
Cool. Thank
That's
you.
the-
Thank you. Thank you.
That is our belief system.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. That was a great question. And yeah, I would stick that. Man, you could copy and paste that and stick that right here. Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zoom out. Here's a little pro tip, guys. So I'm gonna do screenshot. So you can screenshot this, and it instantly makes it an image. And on Mac, I know, and I think on PC you can do this as well. Just do Command C or Control C, and it copies it.
Okay.
And I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to paste it. And it pasted it massive. So I'm going to zoom out, make that a lot tinier. And, well, it doesn't quite cover it, but here. Then I can just delete all this text behind it.
I'm totally lost now.
Oh, there we go.
No,
So
I'm out of the
So what I did, Jillian, was I took a screenshot of that, and I copied it and then pasted it on top of this.
Yeah.
And so there we go.
I was trying to save the thing, so now I've lost the whole meeting. I've just got the pictures of you guys. I'm lost. I'm out of the meeting.
I don't
Except
know.
I can't see the screen. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're over here, Jillian. Right over here.
I know you're there, but I can't see what you're showing us. Oh, yeah, we'll.
You can go back on Facebook. You'll see it on Facebook. But awesome. We've got 2 minutes. Any other questions in 2 minutes?
Can I ask a question about the app?
Sure.
Okay. It said, oh, here's your app. Download your app, customize your app. And I click on it, and it gives you these 3 things you're supposed to do. And I click on the first one, and it's like all this stuff I don't understand. And then I tried to sign in, and none of the flipping passwords would work. So after about 15 minutes of filling like that, I've come out in hives. And I'm like, oh, please, I'm like crying to Elliot. And all I want to do is lead generate. And all day I'm sort of like, I feel like I'm drowning in this thing of technology, which is, I don't know.
Jillian, you need your own YouTube channel. So rants by Jillian. I love it. So So you're talking about on the app, you're trying to log into your app, right?
And then even on the neighborhoods when I was in command, I'm trying to customize my app in command.
Okay.
Takes me to all this crap. I don't want to spend 3 years on it. I want it to happen, you know.
All right. So how about this, Jillian? I'm going to schedule the app. I'm going to teach the app on Tuesday at 4 p.m.
4?
Tuesday at 4.
Tuesday at 4. Okay.
We're going to teach the app
No,
Tuesday at 4.
Tuesday at 4 we can't because we've got the shift thing with
Thursday at 4. We're going to do
Thursday.
the app Thursday at 4. Yep.
So I
And
can go a whole week without this app.
I'm going to give you a pro tip. Every Monday, I do Ask Me Anything. So
All right,
there,
I'll be there.
you have full control of the conversation. So you can come in, ask me about the app. You can ask me anything about the app, and I will
Okay.
answer it.
On Monday. All right, I'll be here.
Because the answer to that question is going to
Yeah.
take far too long.
Yeah. Eat a big lunch. On Monday, eat a big lunch.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I will eat a big lunch.
And take a couple of Tylenol too.
And maybe I'll have a drink at lunch, so I'm ready for you, Jillian. So, all right. No, I don't do that. Okay. Awesome. So it is 5 o'clock. Can I ask you all one question?
Yeah, we'll tell you how fabulous you are on the thing. Yeah.
So my question is always, have I provided value? And yes, I have. Thank you, Jillian. So I just ask you to go to kwueval.com. So kwueval.com. Leave me an evaluation as it's a market center type. We'll go next.
What's the name of the class?
The name of the class, let me see if we have it in there. Let's see. Nope. So it's just the name of the class is going to be course not in dropdown. And we're going to say listing presentations in command. Then for instructor name, I'm not there yet. And I'm going to be in instructor not in dropdown. And it is Chris Orsini. And then proceed to tell me how awesome I am. No, I want your honest feedback.
You're amazing.
Thank you,
We
Jillian.
love you.
Again, I apologize. What is the KWU?
Eval.
Eval.
EVAL. EVAL.
I always miss that.
Yep, it's short for evaluation. Oh, and something someone asked me that I want to point out is that someone asked me if they can submit multiple evaluations. The answer to that is yes, just not on the same class. Let's be honest here. Let's use integrity. Well, I appreciate your support. I want to get this for real evaluations, not for fake ones. So
Of course.
for every class you attend, you are able to submit an evaluation.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
See you Monday.
See you all Monday. No,
Oh,
it's
something
Thursday.
Something's happening Friday. Tomorrow, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I'm teaching DocuSign tomorrow.
Woohoo!
Yes.
More headaches.
So yes. So tomorrow,
More
Jillian, you
Tylenol.
meet me at 4 o'clock tomorrow and tell me how much you love DocuSign. Okay.
Oh.
All right. I appreciate you all so much. Have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.